doesn't just start with, okay, this is the person. Always with case 1, it's pretty much just proving, okay, yeah, this guy was the one that did it. We've never had to do stuff with. We've never had to do stuff with. Well, what? Well, how did they die?
Yep. 22nd November.
You just had to prove, okay, yeah, this guy was around, and and my client also was around, but that's too much of a fucking idiot to do anything.
Very true. 22nd November, 11:14 p.m. Supreme Court of Judicature, Courtroom 2.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Well, I understand you are the judicial assistant to the defense, but why this sudden ingress into my courtroom?
Ha! Judicial assistant? And a woman, no less!
Excuse me, sir, you were swimming for a girl the other day. What the fuck?
It's different, she's British. The rules state that females are not permitted into this court of law other than to testify.
Oh, fuck you.
Yes, I fully understand. I ask only for 5 minutes of your time. I have some vital evidence that I must hand over to the defense. You're too late, little girl. The trial has already been concluded.
Yeah, we'll knock you off your high rocks.
5 minutes. I will not allow a moment more.
You absolutely... I am most grateful.
Alright, we're counting 5 minutes starting now. Who exactly are you?
I am sorry, there's no time. Please, simply accept this for now.
What is it? A report about something written in English?
It is Giselle Brett's research.
Oh, the English one.
After the trial resumed earlier, I hurried back to the university. I went to Dr. Wilson's laboratory in the medical faculty and borrowed this paper. Oh yes, that's right. Miss Brett was studying under the professor, wasn't she?
So, does this research, whatever it is, have something to do with the case?
I'm afraid I do not know. I haven't been able to listen to the proceedings of the trial myself.
Oh, no, of course not.
Special characteristics of pure air and its effects on human subjects. Interesting.
Pure air? What's that? I've never heard of that word before.
Time's up!
Sir, it's only been like a minute and a half.
The prosecution demands the immediate removal of a female trespasser from this courtroom. There was too little time for me to read it in detail, but I've summarized what I could on a note just inside the cover. If you think it could be valuable, please cast your eye over it.
This is wonderful, thank you. Giselle's report, a report detailing an unknown poison that Miss Brett has been researching during her time at Yume University.
Goodbye then, and good luck.
And she fades from existence.
You have had long enough, Counsel. We cannot detain our English guest any longer.
Give me a moment. Alright.
A poison?
Made from the bark of certain trees. Jungle of South America. Hunters of the region have used it since ancient times to incapacitate their prey. Effects: paralysis of the entire body and subsequent death even in a minute doses.
Even in minute doses.
Minute. Okay. Route of entry. The above aforementioned occur when the poison enters the body through a wound that is inflicted by a blowpipe dart, like, into the veins. Due to its ability to render the human body paralytic, believes that the toxin could have application as anesthetic. However, A solution for the arrest cause result. A solution for the repository arrest cause as a result of full-body paralysis must be found first, or the patient would die of suffocation.
So we now have a poison that causes paralysis and death within minutes, as long as it can enter through an open wound.
You have had long enough, Counsel. We cannot detain our English guests any longer.
Like a burn.
I ask the prosecution and defense now, one last time.
Yes, she poured a glass of carbonated water over its burn mark.
Does either side have any further evidence to present to the court? I presume not, but...
The prosecution has made its mind convincingly enough already. Nothing more to add, Your Honor. Ryunosuke, we're out of options here. This really is our very last chance.
Yes, I know. Your Excellency does have new evidence.
Carl.
The unyielding stare of a true Japanese woman.
Are you lounging on your bed?
Maybe. But, well, Miss Brett?
Keep that phone staring in your face.
Bruh, so am I, and it's 1 AM for me.
Anyways.
Yes, Your Excellency.
If you wouldn't mind, perhaps you could grace us with your presence a little longer?
It's a delightful invitation, but I'm afraid... It's not so very long until tea time. I'll have to politely decline.
Forgive me, Miss Brett. It seems I wasn't clear. I realize it was phrased as a question. However, I must ask you to treat that as an order.
I've said it many times before, but Japanese language makes no sense.
My apologies, dear lady.
I mean, he did pose it as a question.
So, Counsel, what is this new evidence that demands the court's attention?
Yes! Miss Giselle Brent, we understand that you're studying under Dr. Wilson at UMA University doing research. Research by sheer coincidence, perhaps, into a deadly poison.
What?
Poison? Where are you going with this, Counsel?
A toxin known as Curare, Your Excellency. Even the slightest amount of this deadly poison entering the body leads to instant death.
Objection!
What? What complete nothing nonsense? Curare, you say? I never even heard of it!
Is why it was not found in the records.
You wouldn't have done. What do you mean? I mean, but you wouldn't have heard of Curare before for one very simple reason. It doesn't exist in our country.
It doesn't exist?
Correct, which means, no matter what test the police can do for toxins, they never identify Curare. Why? Because there is no test available here that can identify the presence of this highly deadly poison. That is brought up from Stardew Valley that my sister's playing now. She can go get me some right now. Ah ha 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 ha.
Order! Order! Order!
Fine.
Counsel, does this deadly poison truly exist?
According to a report offered by the visiting research student from England, Curare has long been used by the tribespeople of South America as a poison to lace their arrows. It seems that its it seems that reasonably well known among European doctors and scientists. Telespa arrows? Reports state that it's produced from the extract of a tree that grows deep in the Amazonian jungle. It was first brought to Europe at the turn of the century by explorers. It claims that animals shot by arrows placed with cuirassiers suffer instant death. Doesn't matter about sum it up, Miss Bratt. Trumpery! I wouldn't be the sponge about the trumpery! To start with, if the victim had been administered some of his so-called deadly poison, he would have been squirming and writhing in pain, and the only other diners would have easily noticed.
That's true. What do you say to that, Inspector? Obviously, I would have noticed a disturbance like that.
I don't remember anything like that either. I don't know the professor being in any kind of pain.
According to this, however, it's the other way around. What do you mean, the other way around? The very fact that the victim didn't show any visible signs of distress is evidence that Cuirassier was used. Cow.
It's fine.
Sorry.
This is why I said, like, it's very difficult to just have people be here for voice acting. Remember that.
The moment this toxin enters a person's system, it causes instant paralysis. In other words, afflicted victims lose all strength and are completely unable to move. Even if they're in total agony, there will be no visible signs of pain at all.
How terrible.
Obviously, if a man lost all strength in his muscles, he'd collapse on the floor. But with a chair under him for support, as Dr. Wilson died, the effects would go largely unnoticed.
I don't follow, Kazuma. That's just paralysis. I thought the poison caused him to death.
The full explanation is extremely unpleasant. A poison causes immediate paralysis, as I said, leaving the victim unable to move. But after a short time, the paralysis is so severe, it causes the muscles that control respiration to fail.
Respiration?
In other words, the actual cause of death is suffocation. All the while, the victim is conscious and aware, just unable to move. That's hideous! To the observer, it would look almost like the victim was slipping peacefully into an endless sleep. But for the victim himself, his final moments would be a living hell. That, the true nature of this deadly Cuirassier poison.
And you're suggesting that this bottle, Council, actually contains this terrifying poison?
Objection!
This very convenient, isn't it? Hitherto, unknown poison for which there is no means of testing would have had a tail for the defense. If I may. All these facts, you think you're so clever, but you must be taught about it. Shut up!
They sound the same.
It is you who must be taught. Of course.
Yeah, you need to learn to, like, you know...
Gosh.
It's hard to switch voices on the fly.
So, this is how you Japanese behave, is it?
No, not all of us. What?
You steal another's honest hard work, then announce the results as if you discovered them. I'm appalled! What a loathsome act!
Oh, Miss Brett, the feeling is
Oh,
mutual.
Miss Brett,
Oh.
the feeling is mutual. Whatever do you mean? Capitalizing on the unfortunate circumstances of an innocent man to frame him for a heinous crime. That really is a loathsome act, wouldn't you agree?
Objection!
Objection! Enough of this! I, for one, refuse to accept it! The idea of some poison that doesn't exist in Empire Japan is breaking the rules!
Rules of what? The rules of nature? That's so funny.
Oh, excuse me, Your Excellency.
Yes, Miss Brett?
May I borrow that bottle for a moment, please?
Well, yes, Lucy, why not?
Don't get too big for your boots, you insignificant little island boy. Sorry. To an Englishwoman such as myself, this whole affair is a farcical comedy. Your little police games and these foolish courtroom antics. It's laughable, really. But I'm getting bored of it all now. It's time for the game to end. Cheers! Jug.
Wait, oh, what are you doing?
No sparkle left at all. How appropriate for this shabby affair.
Wow, the sounds of silence are just so silent.
Wow, guess you must be part steel type.
Ah, gosh darn it, fairy steel? Ugh.
Goodness. Whatever is the matter, you all look quite stunned. So, no cure. The bottle was clean. That's what you're saying?
I mean, it makes sense because it came from there, which means we need to figure out how the poison got there.
You look quite incredulous, little boy. But of course, that's the simple truth. Thank you for presenting the findings of my research so concisely here, Miss Grand Venue. No time. Thank you, waiter. Now then, Your Excellency.
Yes, Miss Brett?
I should like to be excused now, please. I think I've given more than enough of my time for the furtherance of friendship between our countries.
Ah, yes, dear lady. We are most gratified with all the assistance you've given.
This doesn't make sense. There had to have been poison in that bottle. So how? How did she swallow a whole glass and live to tell the tale? Don't understand it. Well, I suppose if nothing else, we sit on Far Eastern charade. Will make for interesting conversation at the next party I attend in London.
there has been poison in that bottle. And there? It can't have been because otherwise she would have killed over dead.
Oh, would she have?
Oh,
I mean, clearly she's still there.
Clearly, that bottle of water contains no poison.
Yes, but I feel.
As I thought, there is no poison.
Okay, you two are overlooking a certain trait of the poison.
Well, yeah, don't give it away though. Let him figure it out. Let him be smart, man.
What? Why, Ryunosuke?
Let's see.
Sometimes your unadulterated naivety really astounds me. But sometimes it's in need of a good staining. Until it's as dark as your uniform in the ways of a world.
Is that what this color is supposed to represent?
That was a gill ascending to a promising light of inquiry, Counselor. Which should be penalized.
So it did contain poison because it had to go through an open wound.
Ding ding ding, and we have a winner.
But she looked dead. Ah. It's fine, I had 5 tries anyways. Remember, I'm not perfect. The culprit did put Korra into the carbon water. The fence refuses to change its position.
You're serious.
Objection!
Fool, are you blind? There's no possible way that bottle could contain poison.
Miss Brett drinking from the water from it.
That's right. Which rather complicates your agreement, I think.
I believe that complication can be explained.
How exactly?
I think through all the things that don't quite up here, one by one. I'm sure the answer is the evidence we have the courtroom record somewhere, and it has to be.
Very well. If the defense truly intends to assert this claim, then I must ask you to support the assertion with evidence. What explains how the witness was able to consume this supposedly poisoned water unscathed?
It needs to enter through a wound, which I thought. Which I completely have
Indeed.
Yes!
The answer to this riddle is right here in Miss Brett's own research report.
Objection!
That's not a valid explanation.
No?
After all, we don't speak English. That report is utter gibberish. This impudent young scoundrel is trying to ridicule the court, Your Excellency.
I'm not trying to ridicule anyone, honest. I'm just reading Susato-san's notes.
I concur. This report is too extensive to be considered in its entirety by the court. You will direct us to the pertinent section, Counsel. Which section of the report reveals the alleged answer to the riddle?
Special characteristics.
I thought it'd be special character. It's like special characters, or... We've been hearing a lot about this cure poison. And it's supposed to be curious about something.
Oh, Counsel?
Well, it sounds though as indigenous hunters may have been using this poison for years and years. The Leicester has the arrows that they shoot whatever prey they're hunting.
Mm-hmm. So we've been led to believe, yes.
And the point of hunting is to catch prey to eat.
Get to a point, please.
But if they were to use these laced arrows, does that mean there would have been traces of poison left in the prey that the hunters were going to eat?
Yes, good point.
So surely, the hunters wouldn't want to eat their prey, would they? because then they'd be eating poison.
Good gracious, Council! No, that would be madness.
But I actually found the answer to that conundrum in this research paper here. Under special characteristics, it says this. The poison starts to work after entering the body through a wound.
Through a wound, you say? I see, that makes sense.
Yes, the mention of that particular detail seemed a little strange to me though. But it all makes sense when you interpret it in the what's written like this. When Kira enters the body through an open wound, it has a terrifying poisonous effect. However, when it enters the body via the mouth, it has no poison effects whatsoever.
Well, provided by no wounds in my mouth.
No wounds in the mouth, true.
What?
How did he then get a wound in his mouth?
I don't know, a cut on its lip.
He totally had a cut on his lip. Tripped on the fork.
Miss Brent, you authorized this research?
Oh.
You knew Kira's special characters.
Oh, he's British.
Enio, can you just not spoil it?
Oh, he's British. Have you seen British people? Their teeth are absolute messes. It might as well be a bunch of wounds in my mouth.
That's a meme.
That's a meme.
Yeah.
Huh. And you knew that you could make a spectacle of. Oh fuck! I actually skipped it by accident.
Yeah, it's a meme that the English. It's a meme that the English have very bad dental hygiene when it's just that we don't want our teeth to be porcelain white. You meddling little rapscallion!
Ah, hey look, it's actually alive! So I would be strangely a rise one. Got it.
Hey, Ryunosuke, turns out you're an even better lawyer than I thought you'd be.
Really? Me? A lawyer?
Objection!
This poison talk is fascinating, I'm sure. But I fail to see what possibly. Shut up! So, the ill-bred little puppy has a new toy to play with. Some facts he read in a book.
Hey, your mask is a little wider now.
But I'm afraid that knowledge doesn't suit you, little boy. It only makes you look silly.
What are you trying to say?
Your schoolboyish logic has a fatal flaw.
Schoolboyish?
Flaw? As even your brain has managed to deduce, Jura is safe to ingest. It seems likely that its effects are neutralized by the acidic nature of the gastric sucus.
Oh yes, well, of course. Gastric suckers, what are they?
So, if this lethal poison is completely harmless when drunk, the professor wouldn't have died when he swallowed it, would he?
Ah.
That's right.
Good gracious!
That's basic science. Science that even a schoolboy should be able to understand and know.
Order! Order in the court! Order! The logic holds. If the lady and the professor drink the same poison, they would be affected in the same way.
Are you trying to suggest?
Are you trying to suggest?
Damn it, I said it.
Yes, the Cura poison is completely irrelevant to a case on trial. That's right. Surely even a little cockroach like you could understand something as simple as that.
What is this? Welling up inside me. I've never felt like this before. Sort of conviction to break it all down to the discrepancies. It's so intense, almost rage-like. and more than anything else, animalistic desire. Take down my prey.
Objection!
Yeah, but actually has a voice clip. But actually has a voice clip, and the English voice actor goes all in on that to hunt down my prey part.
Damn. I don't think so, Miss Giselle Brett.
How dare you use that tone with me?
You know very well that there's no fatal flaw here. You know exactly why. Even though both you and the victim swallowed the same poison. You are alive, but Dr. Wilson is dead.
Counsel, I'm sure I don't need to remind you. You must provide compelling evidence. As we know now that this poison is completely harmless when ingested, why would Dr. Wilson alone have been killed by the Colware? Or Curer?
Alright.
You just gotta spam evidence until one of them works?
No. No.
Oh? Then why are you saving?
Alright. Okay. So we have two pieces of evidence. That one is useless. This one... I could say the burn mark, but the burn mark... He was already dead by the time he had the burn mark.
Okay, so want to go through the step by step?
No, that's not that.
Yeah, step by step. Why not?
We know for certain that in order for the poison to kill, that a wound is necessary. Therefore,
So, he had to have a wound. Simple enough.
Needs to have been on John H. Wilson in an area where the poison would have passed through.
I'm still trying to. Like,
Okay, I think you're just giving it away at that point, man.
it's like I'm trying to understand.
What are all the wounds that Dr. Wilson had at the time? The burn mark, the gunshot wound. All those happened after his death, so is there any other wounds that you can find? Like maybe from the knife? Or from something else?
Did he stab himself with it?
No.
Yeah, I'm clearly giving it away, Kawa.
Yeah, he stabbed himself. I'm kidding.
Yeah, it's true British nature. You just
The
can't-
molar!
Goodness.
The molar!
Oh, is this so?
Take that!
As Miss Brett so rightly pointed out, she drank the same poison as the professor. However, there was a fundamental and fatal differences between the two diners.
A fatal difference?
Oh, bugger.
The toxic effects of Curer are only felt when the poison enters through the body through an open wound. So, for a healthy person with no injuries, drinking it is completely harmless. But, what if there was a wound inside of the mouth of the person drinking the poisoned water?
Inside?
Yes, like the wounds you might have if you had just been to the dentist and had a tooth extracted, for example.
Oh!
Miss Brett, you acknowledged many times in your testimony already that you are well aware of Dr. Wilson's dental appointment of that day.
That's it. You used that knowledge to orchestrate this.
Is she laughing?
I don't like to repeat myself. Ah, shit, my phone's running out of battery. I don't like to repeat myself. These childish courtroom games and your half-baked arguments are all so puerile.
Well, then, reflect it. Why daren't you? What do you mean?
Don't worry, little schoolboy. You'll find out soon enough. You see, when you leave vital evidence lying around, you never know what might happen to it.
No.
I mean, it could just slip. Oh dear, how careless of me.
She broke evidence. She should go and be punished for that.
I'm afraid some crucial evidence may have just been tragically destroyed. What just happened?
This is the English woman!
And the Supreme Court?
What
a terrible blunder.
Officer, what are you waiting for? Collect up as much of the water from that broken bottle as possible, at once!
You're wasting your time. This delightful carpet under my feet here was a gift from the British Empire. I assure you, it will soak up the water beautifully. You have neither the technology nor the presence of mind to recover it.
How could you? You won't get away with this.
You can thump the bench and shout as much as you like, little boy. But I'm afraid we'll never know now, will we? If there really was any poison in the bottle or not. You! And let us not forget, we still have some very compelling evidence left intact. Isn't that right, counsel for the prosecution? Of course, of course! You're referring to this photographic print, I assume, dear lady. That's right. And really, looking at this photograph, it is clear as day, isn't it? The poor professor was sitting with his back to me. So of course the only person who could have shot him from the front is the little schoolboy. No, you killed the victim that day using Cuirassier. And then, in order to frame me and not gain our hold of a crime, you waited until he picked up a pistol you'd arranged for him to find on the floor, before you shot the professor's dead body in the chest with your own hidden gun. Then, in the confusion that followed, all you had to do was turn the dead professor and his chair around. You see? You had every opportunity to commit this crime. What a wonderful imagination you have, young man. A hidden gun, you say? And I shot the professor's dead body, did I? I'm terribly sorry, but you don't have a shred of evidence. Exactly. And as you have nothing to support your wild claims, the prosecution stance remains unchanged. The victim, Dr. John H. Wilson, was killed by a gunshot to the chest. Delivered in cold blood by the accused, Miyanoshi Naoto. Yeah, they're still further normally required in case ones. By now we've usually had enough time to go for 2 case ones.
Yeah, the poison mentioned here is from the original game. Wow, I have 1, 2, I just have 2, okay. Invitation, Library Legends, and then Library Stars, got it. Be cool, switch, play the original. I mean, true, it's the one I own, honestly I should replay it.
I mean, yeah, if you're down with playing the original Ace Attorney as well, if this series ends up getting Blue interested into it.
I mean, I'm interested in it, but I have other games to play. Also, how's it sound? We had her, but now... I mean... the way the story was so obscene.
Okay, I'm going to have to start quieting down now because I am disrupting the sleep of my parents. Ryunosuke.
The reason why I said you should probably go to sleep.
No.
I mean, I could pick up everybody's voices for you. I won't do it as well, but I could.
Finish it.
Very well.
Blue, we are literally on the last stretch. There's no way I'm giving up now.
What do you mean?
We've lost a vital piece of evidence, it's true. It's with any clues left for us to use now. They must be in your head.
In my head?
You told me before that your powers of observation were the one thing you could really depend upon.
Well, yes, that's true, but... I managed to know that this woman was a foreigner with a swan on her head.
So think back again now. Try to remember every last detail about the scene that day. Everything you saw, everything you felt, every color, every smell.
Ah. What I saw, what I felt. Every color. It's Kazuma, right? Also, how wasn't that stain there before?
It was there. It's just in black and white. You thought that was steak juice, I think.
I know, I didn't even notice it. Damn. Filler? There is a clue.
Man, there's nothing. Case is over. We're done here.
Yeah.
Actually, Kazuma, you might have something. Think back over everything I saw. Think might have been uncovered another clue.
You always have something up your sleeve, don't you, Ryunosuke? Come on then, let's wipe a smug smile off that Englishwoman's face with some evidence.
Alright, I can't wait. Been niggling for a bit. Feels amiss in my memories of that day. Whatever it could be to find the truth about all this.
It's the steak plate.
Also the...
Saving just in case it's not the spot of blood.
It's the small nibble on the far side of a steak. What sensible man would have taken so small a bite from a steak?
Clearly.
Clearly. I mean, it's that blood.
Take that!
Inspector Hosonaga, answer me this.
Yes? What is it?
Oh, he still smile. Wait, probably thinking about that bottle being smashed. As you said a number of times now, you strive for perfection in your investigations, don't you?
Absolutely.
I wonder, therefore, if perhaps you took anything else from the scene of the crime. Like, for instance, the plate of steak that you took to the victim's table that day.
Objection! Shut up!
Where are you going with this, little boy? Archie has lost speaking privileges now. Archie is too loud.
It's just a memory that's been troubling me.
What memory?
I saw that scene shown in photographs of print with my own eyes that day. Yeah, it's like
Oh, it's not there.
Yeah, you can tell. You can't see it. And I saw on the day when the wooden base of the plate that the steak was served on was a spattering of blood.
Oh, really? And what of it? Obviously, that must have happened when you shot the professor.
No, that can't be the case.
Hmm?
Take a look at this photograph and the relative position of everything there. The steak is almost directly behind the victim. I was supposed to have shot Dr. Wilson from the front, There's no way the blood victim would have ended up directly behind him without there being another hole.
Yes. It's so much more pleasant now without she had stopped talking. For blood made it onto the plate, and implied the plate was between the victim and the shooter. Which means the shooter must have been sitting opposite the professor, as you were. Giselle, Brett. I beg your pardon?
Richard!
This is beyond ridiculous! Fabricated nonsense!
Oh, you have a good voice for him.
Is the court seriously expected to believe something the accused has apparently just remembered seeing?
Hold it!
This could be the moment that my entire career in the police force has been leading to.
Inspector, you mean...
Yes, I took the plate, in interest of preserving evidence from the scene of the crime. I took it, meat and all, and I don't care if they call me a crime scene thief because of it.
You did what? You what, mate?
I took the steak that you've been eating, Miss Brett. I took the steak that the surgeon had been eating. And I did it all in the name of justice.
Then we can find out for sure whether or not there's a bloodstain on Miss Brett's plate. We must examine it now!
Inspector! The court wishes to examine the plate from the victim's table, immediately. Yes, sir. Enyo, if you want to voice the judge, since I took your role of the prosecutor, you can do that.
Sure.
Sorry for the delay. Here is what you've ordered. The steak.
Oh, thank you. Well, what's with the blood? Is there blood on it?
Of course there isn't.
Quickly, Inspector, the blood man. Show the court.
Of course. Examine the plate at your leisure.
There is none, because...
No. No blood. No blood anywhere.
No. That's... impossible! I'm sure of it. It was right here on the scene of the tail, right behind blood on the side of the plate.
Oh, what an unbecoming expression, little boy. You see, this is why I always say you can't trust what the Japanese tell you.
Ah!
I believe we may have finally reached a conclusion in this trial. Let's hope so. This let's pretend attempt at courtroom proceedings is painful to watch. But I do promise to do my best to forget all about it when it's over.
No, you go share at a British party.
Yes, that is what we British refer to forgetting.
The sorry-looking steak reveals the facts all too clearly.
No.
If the sorry-looking accused wishes to examine it again, be my guest.
Give me. You're
not gonna eat it, are you?
No. But it's not just figuring
I could probably do have a good steak right now. Hungry.
Uh-oh.
What do we have here? Huh?
Coin.
What is this?
I think it's a Koban coin. And the hallmark is from the Hoi era, I believe.
No, I mean... I don't mean what is it. I mean, what is it doing there? Wait, did you say it was Oikoban?
Yes, and apart from meat juices, it looks to be in good condition. I imagine it's very valuable.
This isn't the first time that there's been a talk of Oikoban.
I've heard of pearls before swine, but I've never heard of bullion and bouillon.
Okay, I learned this definition yesterday. Bullion is like a coin, but bullion is like a guy that that puts stocks into like steak and such. I think. It's very weird.
Yeah, I think the latter would be pronounced like bouillon, as in sort of like French. That's just my guess.
Either way, the English translators did a good job on that.
Indeed.
Yes. This is extraordinary, though. This means... Anyways, there's nothing else, there's nothing else, there's nothing else. Oh, hey, look. This emblem on the side of the plate. Is it a cat?
It's a cow, obviously. Most likely because the restaurant's signature dish is beefsteak.
To know.
It seems a lot of different restaurants have their own unique tableware.
I should keep that in mind.
Oh, this is a symbol of La Carnival, is it?
Alright, cool, and I think that's everything... Oh, no, wait, the coin? The coin. Can I inspect the coin?
The coin itself, if it had different interaction, then it wouldn't have had a tick mark. I certainly never expected to find a precious coin underneath a thick cut of meat. It's from the Hoi era, too. That would make it really quite valuable.
I think it's well marinated in juices as well. Look.
What, are you thinking of eating it?
No. But the next time I order steak in an expensive restaurant, one thing's for sure. Wyatt's gonna be racing as soon as he lifts up the meat and peer on it for a prize.
I think you might have a rounding end of a stick about this, Ryunosuke.
Ikoban coin and eat the steak. Only one logical explanation. Alright, cool, I just want... That's just like baby talk. It's like, oh yeah. Where's that check mark? I don't see a check mark.
Huh. Oh well. Unfortunately, Gawarowski is not going to understand this because he wasn't here for the first testimony.
I think I know what's happening.
This is it now? I've lost. Nothing.
It's not over yet. Not until the final gavel.
Huh.
Never stop believing in yourself. Keep looking forward no matter what.
Ugh. Believe in myself? Really? For I believe that we can fly up in the sky. Maybe I should at least examine the evidence for myself. Done.
As the evidence requested by the defense had not been shown to be problematic in any way, I presume any further examination of evidence in this trial will be unnecessary. Does the defense have any objection?
The blessing was going to clinch the child for me. Can this plate of steak reveal any other clues at all? Well, there's a clue. Your Excellency, please wait. This plate of beef is hiding another clue. I know the clue that will reveal a shocking truth.
Objection!
Cow.
The only thing that's shocking here is your unhealthy fascination with beefsteak.
Your Excellency, I think I made myself clear, haven't I? I will not be able to turn a blind eye to any more unnecessary procrastination in this trial. I'm sorry, Miss Brett. We must ensure a thorough examination of the evidence. I will not give a ruling until I'm completely satisfied that all reasonable doubt has been dispelled. I see. As a newly affirmed ally of my country, that's still your position, is it?
Thank you, Your Excellency.
Counsel for the defense, you will now clearly show the court to what you are alluding. Where precisely on this plate of beefsteak is this new clue to be found?
Right here.
Got it!
No? What?
No, Counsel, I'm afraid that won't do.
Oh, no.
You need to interact with the steak to lift it up first.
I pressed R. Damn it, I pushed the wrong button.
Mwah, mwah.
That's a player fault. That's a player fault, not me picking the wrong choice.
You're fine with only 3 mistakes left.
I already got through that.
I didn't quite think this through.
I didn't think I had to. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I was going through everything again. Noted. You have to sometimes go through the puzzle of getting to the answer.
Yeah.
A little odd, but okay.
Got it!
There we go.
Good gracious, that's...
Hold on.
What on earth?
Hoieri wanted that.
Miss Brett. This is in fact the beefsteak that you ordered at the restaurant the day in question, is it? Tell me. Why is there no coin seemingly hidden underneath this meat?
Shut up!
Excuse me, ma'am?
What am I eating? Shut up! What a ridiculous question. How should I know? I've never seen that thing before in my life. I don't know what this is, but I want to know part in it.
Objection!
Pokes the cat.
Ugh. I fail to see how this is relevant. A coin under the meat? That could simply have been a careless mistake by the chef in a moment of distraction.
Objection!
Don't be absurd. We're supposed to believe that this happened by accident in the kitchen? A rare Hoi Koba just happens to be hidden underneath that piece of steak. If this turns out to be irrelevant to the case, I'll rip up my ticket to Great Britain right now myself.
He's right. It can't be a coincidence. Your SSC?
Yes, Counsel?
A rare Hoi-Kan just happened to hit on a piece of steak. If this turns out to be irrelevant to the case, I'll give him my lawyer job right now.
Objection!
By all means, don't let us stop you. No one invited you anyways.
Shut up!
Perhaps, little boy, you should realize that it is you who is irrelevant.
Even though I'm the one on trial here. The point is, it's essential that we ask the owner of this coin if he can explain what's doing under that steak.
The owner?
Yes, it's obvious. There's only one person it belonged to. As found, the beefsteak is... Huh. Oh, every time we meet someone, they're always investigated into it. Anyways, damn it, this is our person.
Yep, I have no idea who that is.
Honestly, it can only be the antiques dealer and owner of Rasute, Kiryu Koriketuka. Kiri, as in Mr. Cucumber something. Honestly, these are disgusting.
Kiri, as in Mr. Cucumber something. Honestly, these ridiculous Japanese names are quite unfathomable. Ah, yes. The old man who testified earlier about the military sergeant, correct?
Yes.
correct?
Yes, Your Excellency.
I remember him saying that he was up to something with his Koban coin when it happened. At exactly the moment the gun was fired. Did your gunshot interested me not? I was far too busy on the floor.
Too busy on the floor? Sorry, what were you doing?
Hunting for treasure. Indeed, ahoy Arakoban, my prized coin. Then this Hoy Arakoban, do you mean to tell me?
No, please. Why would Kurikata-san Koban be sandwiched between the victim's beef steak and its plate? It makes no sense.
Yes!
Exactly. Which is why I'm asking to bring Kurikata-san back to the witness stand, so we can ask him.
Officer, bring both witnesses that testified earlier back in. Oh God.
You alright?
Without a moment's delay.
I forgot to what extent this went.
Yeah, we have to go through that part as well.
God, we have to have these two up to testify to explain why Vespa Koban under the meat plate which then results in Giselle finally giving up work.
Yep.
Okay, what's the time looking like for me now? It's 2 a.m.
Yeah?
You probably go to sleep.
We might just want to end it.
I can go on.
I gotta go in 30 minutes to visit my grandmother, so...
Don't worry, I'll stay here till the end.
Well, I'll voice what I can. Do you want me to voice somebody here?
Alright, so, see you all later.
Go sleep. You stayed up far too long. I had to take my sister to work, which is why we started later.
Alright, am I gonna voice everybody?
Do you want to voice everyone, or do you want me to do it?
I'll try voicing everybody while I'm still here. I gotta leave soon anyways.
Very well.
What's this all about? Why have I been called up again? Don't you realize that it's dinner time for little baby Ido?
I don't know.
When my son's belly is empty, he's fiercer than a pack of wolves.
I want to see him as a wolf.
Exploited by the police, we were like miserable dogs forced to bear false witnesses.
He has a knife. Just, casually.
And when cast from this courtroom myself, I became a ruined man in a trice, a worthless, withered antique. Nothing more have I to say. Sun has stepped on this Durasuke shop owner's existence. Be that as it may, Kurika takes on. Something has come to light that requires your clarification. As far as your Rasute memory search.
Ah!
That's it! The one! The very one. The very exact... Oh my gosh, I'm getting my voices mixed up. The very exact one that it is. The splendiferous Hawaii treasure that my rusty bones managed to misplace that fateful day. It can't be.
As I thought. I'll take care of both the defendants in this case.
Young man! Enlighten this decrepit old fool. Put me out of my misery!
Okay.
Where was my treasure? Where was it dropped?
You see... Oh, I'm not sure if it was dropped anywhere. We found your coin sandwiched between a beefsteak and its plate, soaking in seasoned meat's juices.
Sandwich? Stoking? Seriously?
Clearly, it could not have fallen there by accident. Which means... somebody must have hidden it there on purpose.
Somebody has hid my Hawaii treasure between a slab of meat and a metal plate? Who? Who would do such a thing? Such an unconceivable thing?
Also, hello, Matt. Hello, welcome. If you were here earlier, you would have heard more voice actors. Don't worry. But it's late for them, and they're sleeping because they're over in where we will be going eventually.
Excuse me.
Yes, sir, Hosonaga?
Could I say something?
Yes, of course.
Proceed, Inspector Hosonaga. I mentioned this earlier on in the trial, but I was working undercover in the restaurant in order to investigate another case. Ah, yeah, that's right. The secret undercover operation. La Carnival is a high-class Western cuisine restaurant. It attracts wealthy diners, including many foreigners. Recently, there's been a run of similarly executed thefts targeting the restaurant's rich clientele. A number of such incidents have been reported to the police bureau. Wicked crimes, indeed.
Not the last weapon we brought into a weapon as well in this game? Damn.
We wanted to nip the case in the bud quickly, especially with so many foreigners being affected.
So that's why you were sent undercover, is it?
Mm-hmm. Yes. I took on the job of waiter at the restaurant in order to flush out the criminal. Seems likely that this Koban incident is the work of the same thief.
So, unbeknownst to this, there was a master thief that worked the restaurant on a regular basis. This is already the scene of several crimes, it seems. I don't know about the master thief part, but the identity of this person who stole and hid the car was all too clear.
What? What? I think the court would like to hear the defense's view on this matter. Tell us, who is the despicable scoundrel that stole Kuretikan's Koban? And hid it under the stake.
I believe it was him. He had his eyes on a stake the entire time. And no one else here could have done it. So I believe you. Obviously, it'll be you. Sergeant Iyasa Nosa.
How? How dare you, you monster!
Monster?
I stole that Koban, did I? I'm the master thief of La Carnival, have I? You're seriously accusing me of these crimes, cadet? But it wasn't me. It was Ido. Ido is the master behind all this. Sorry, that shocked me.
I completely forgot. You would push the blame of your crimes onto your own son, an innocent little baby? Excuse me, monster. Sergeant Nosa.
Oh goodness. Nobody clap. What is happening? Swag.
Get rid of that booger. Hey, it's Wario now. Or Waluigi, or something.
Nippon Imperial Army, Sergeant Iyasa Nosa, preparing to stand down in the Supreme Court, sir.
Fucking god. Ugh, the breakdowns are hilarious. Push.
Do any of you know of the extraordinary low wages the Nippon Imperial Army pays those it expects to keep our country safe? Now, I understand that the temporary increase of taxation owing to the recently ended conflict remain in place. And I have heard it's hard for lower-ranking soldiers to make a living. Yes. All I want is to put a hot meal on the table for my son.
That's why you're saying things at the restaurant.
The place is heaving with money. Every 3 days, I go there to do reconnaissance for a target. And I'd enjoy chopping my way through a good steak at the same time.
Doesn't bother with the heaven pork, which is worryingly believable. And your target that day was the old man and his coupon.
Yeah. Yes, sir. He was an easy mark. I slipped the coin out of my pocket without any trouble at all. A veritable phantom thief you are.
Yes, this is my very first Ace Attorney.
I was all set to leave the steak I was halfway through devouring when it happened.
The gunshot.
Bang!
Yes, when the professor was shot.
I knew that if the police conducted a search and found the coin in my pocket, I'd be finished. I do too. So, I hid the incriminating evidence as fast as I could, on the double. I slipped it under the steak, hoping that I'd be able to rendezvous with it again at a later date.
This is ridiculous.
Perhaps you could carry on with this absurd prattling in your own time.
Well, Miss Brett.
Oh, of course, dear lady, of course. How rude of us. I'm quite sure there's no need to detain you any longer at all.
I will kick your head.
May the esteemed gentlewoman please be excused, Your Excellency. Indeed. The theft of Koban was clearly perpetrated by this baby-saddled surgeon. It would certainly appear to be unrelated to Dr. Wilson's murder. Of course it is. Hiding a coin under a lump of meat? The sheer nonsense of such an idea astounds me.
Now we need to figure out how the plates were swapped. Nonsense, is it?
Oof! As for picking up your steak and biting into it without using a knife and fork, it's beyond nonsense. It's pure madness.
You elegant finery need to all burn. You need to understand that there's a little balance.
Very well. Now that all questions concerning this witness's testimony have been answered, I see no further justification for detaining her. Miss Brett, you are free to leave. Thank you, Your Excellency. Good luck, everyone. And good day.
Ryunosuke, what is the matter with you? This is no time for daydreaming. Oh, no, it's just... something about Miss Brett's parting words that got me thinking. Can't quite work out exactly. Something she said jarred with me. There's a contradiction somewhere. Something that didn't quite add up. That's the case. Don't stand up thinking. Make your voice heard. Sorry. Think later, but if you don't call out now, it'll be too late. The trial will be over.
Hold it!
Wait, Miss Brett.
What is it now?
I'm afraid, just one last time. There's something I'd like to ask you. I'd like to explain the contradiction in your parting words from a few moments ago.
What are you talking about? What contradiction? What new student nonsense is this?
Well, what parting words are you talking about, Ryunosuke? Finding coin underneath a lump of meat? The sheer nonsense is, of such an idea astounds me. As for picking up your steak and biting it without using a knife and fork, beyond nonsense. It's pure madness. Yes, I'm right. What you said there exposed an undeniable contradiction.
I'm going to need to see evidence, Counsel. If Miss Brett's words are truly contradictory, where's the evidence to prove it?
I didn't even look at it.
Take that!
I didn't look at it.
The photographic print of the scene taken immediately after the incident occurred?
What's interesting is the plate of steak that you can see on the victim's table.
The steak that Miss Brett has been eating before the professor was killed, yes? Go on.
More accurately, Your Excellency, the steak that was on the victim's table just before the professor was killed.
Now you're just splitting hairs.
Not true. Doesn't something about the steak strike you as very unnatural?
Unnatural? What on earth do you mean?
It's extremely obvious. I'm talking about the shape of the edge where it's been eaten. Oh. I see you noticed it too, Miss Brett.
Noticed what exactly, Counsel?
Just a few moments ago, Miss Brett claimed no Englishman would even contemplate picking up a steak and biting it without using a knife and fork.
Of course she did. She's a refined English gentlewoman herself.
And take a good look at the steak, in particular, the edge where it's been eaten. See there are clear defined, barbaric teeth marks there.
Oh.
Looks like Miss Brett has realized something. So, if the witness, as she claims, wouldn't contemplate eating anything without using a knife and fork, there shouldn't be teeth marks in the steak at all.
Objection!
But what is your actual point? Perhaps the delightful Miss Brett was ravenously hungry and couldn't... Shut up! Well, whatever you say, dear lady. As I said, I really must be leaving now.
And you won't be.
Afternoon tea with the Minister of Justice cannot possibly wait any longer. Of course. This will all be over in the blink of an eye. Rest assured, I'm about to put this rookie in his place. Shut up! I've had enough. You irritating little speculated samurai relic! Of course, dear lady.
What's the matter, Miss Brett? Have we ruffled your feathers? Clearly, the witness knows what this means. She's realized the catastrophic implication that these teeth marks in the steak have for her. Ryunosuke, do you know where you're going with this? Yes. Now at last, it's all come together. The mysterious teeth marks in the steak that had allegedly been eaten with cutlery. The reason why the blood stain I saw somehow seemed to have disappeared. And most importantly, the evidence that proves, once and for all, that who shot Dr. Wilson that day.
I accept that these teeth marks in the steak are a little unnatural, as you put it, Counsel. But what exactly are you suggesting that tells us?
Everything, Your Excellency.
Everything?
Yes, either these barbaric teeth marks in the steak here amount to conclusive evidence that this case, well, in this case, evidence that will prove beyond any doubt who shot Dr. Wilson.
Shut up! Conclusive evidence? How many times have I heard that today? You wouldn't know the meaning of the phrase, typical Japanese empty threats.
How can you be so sure?
It's quite simple. If you really had such conclusive evidence, you would have presented it to the court long ago.
Or perhaps we never had the evidence or fully realized it. Actually, the evidence talked about hasn't been brought before the court yet.
Hasn't been... what?
Precisely. But just because it has been shown yet, doesn't mean that the evidence does not exist.
Objection!
This is absurd. The trial has run several hours already, and you say there's evidence yet to be brought forward? There can't be. I don't believe you have it.
Objection!
I don't, but there's someone who does have it. Someone in this very courtroom. And if that person is willing to submit the piece of evidence I'm referring to, it will solve every remaining mystery about this case.
Very well. I look forward to do my last request to the defense in this trial. Who possesses the conclusive evidence that will reveal the truth about this whole affair? Alright, I gotta go. I hope you have fun voice acting, everybody.
I will voice act everyone! Good luck, have a good day.
Good luck. You too.
The answer is obvious. It is Inspector Hosonaga. What? I have it? Yes. You think Ivan was holding conclusive evidence? That's... No, I'm not saying that. Everyone's been attention and focused on the stake with teeth marks. Yes. Now earlier this afternoon, Sergeant Nosa told the court the following. I enjoyed chopping my way through a good steak. And as well as admitting to stealing the Korikuta-san's coin, he told us that he slipped it under the steak. You was a cadet. I'm a superior officer. Sergeant Nosa, could you please confirm something for me? Was the stake that you put in the coin under, in fact, your own stake? Attention! Affirmative, of course. I might be a soldier in the Imperial Nippon Army, but still. I'm not brave enough to ask a foreign gentle lady if she had mind me manhandling her meal to hide something in it. Other words, the stake that detective submitted as evidence earlier was in fact Sergeant Nosa's meal.
Objection!
But that makes no sense. The plate was taken from the victim's table.
Objection!
Yes, the gentlewoman doesn't take bites out of her steak, nor does she have any opportunity to steal the coin. Of course I didn't steal it. To suggest such thing would be an affront to even the entire British Art Empire. Well then, how do you explain this paradox? Exactly. Surely not going to suggest that the sergeant switched the two steaks over. You did switch the plates. Well, after it happened, the, When I saw this villain had been murdered right in front of my eyes just like that, I panicked. But instead, I immediately lifted my stake and hid the coin underneath it. But then, the way I came out he was an undercover policeman, I thought I had it. That'd investigate my slab of meat. That'd be it. I'd be getting my marching orders. So when the cadet here was arrested and taken out to the kitchen, I seized my chance. Oh, a child! With military precision and timing, I switched my stake with the one on the foreign lady's table. Wow! You can't, I never saw you do such a thing! It was called Operation Lightning Bolt. There was no time for strategic planning. It was do or die, I tell it. So yes, I did what had to be done. Unbelievable! However, fear not, Prosecutor Sutton. What now? I swear the brass buttons of my uniform. That is all I did, sir. All you did. That's plenty, Sergeant.
Yes!
So, If Sergeant knows how to switch the plates over, it means he took Miss Braid's steak and the plate it was on back to his own table. Yes, that's follow. Inspector Hosonaga. Yes. Earlier in this trial, you told the court this. You said that you had not only taken Miss Braid's steak as the innocent, but also the sergeant's. To preserve evidence, you had taken both. That's correct. Then please present it to the court now. The plate that was actually on the victim's table at the precise moment he was shot.
Shut up!
What the fuck, woman? You don't tell a dragon to shut up! What can that possibly tell us now? I mean, a cold slab of tough meat. I can't have the slightest bearing on the case.
Objection!
No, you're not wriggling your way out of this time, lady. I beg your pardon? Surely, you're not that forgetful. Surely you remember the reason why the steak pan promised to prove such problem for you, no? You're the ones who decided it was a problem, not me. Yes, precisely. Because I have something for you, woman. I got this. It's tight time. The reason the defense asked you the plate was to confirm something the defendant remembers seeing. Thinks he remembers? I'm quite sure of what I saw, Miss Brett. On the side of the plate that was on the table directly behind Dr. Wilson, there was a clear spattering of blood from the gunshot wound to the victim's chest. I believe the defendant's memory serves him well. And now we have the evidence to prove it, that the plate you were eating from, Miss Brett. Let us not prolong this any further. Inspector, you will show this evidence to the court. Present the beef steak and the plate that was originally on the victim's table before the time of the incident. Yes, sir! Sorry for keeping you in. Sorry about that, Matt. I'll be with you in a moment, actually. As soon as this case is over. We'll come see. You're on the spectrum. I'll come read you, and then I gotta hop out because, you know, it's probably spoilers for me. Sorry for keeping you. Here is the other steak on its plate. So please, feel free to examine it. The blood stain. It's clearly visible. Look.
Yes!
Yes. Now, this makes everything clear. The blood you can see on the side of the plate shows that at the moment the victim was shot, he was facing the table with his back to me. In other words, it's impossible for Nahura-san to have shot the victim. It can't be. In fact, there's only one person who could possibly have shot that person from the front. I'm sure everyone knows by now who that person is. That's right. Miss Giselle Brett. It's you! Oh, done. I had Japanese. Me. I use Japanese schoolboy. No. Please excuse my little outburst. I briefly lost my composure. I told you, never, ever, ever mess with a dragon. Most unbecoming behavior for an English gentlewoman. Forgive me. Well, Miss Brett. I think it's time you told the court what exactly happened that day. The truth this time. Gladly, Your Excellency, we did indeed get her. And let me drink some water before that too. It was I who took the professor's life using Cuirae. As you summarize, I chose that particular day for one very important reason. The professor had a dental appointment for the extraction of one of his teeth in the morning. Sometimes they'll break down, but can keep on going. Huh. So you plan to kill the professor, knowing that no trace of poison will be found in his water. Because cure is unheard of here in Japan. Yes, of course. I never intended to remain in the restaurants for as long as I did. Only to see the professor take one tiny sip of water and it'll all be over. I placed the steak I ordered in front of him to make it appear that he had been dining alone. Leave immediately, however. Before any of that happened, there was an unexpected visitor at the professor's table. That would be me, I suppose. Yes, you. Who else? Such a trifling matter, but the fact that you decided to come over to greet the professor meant that I lost my chance to slip away unnoticed. In due course, the professor took a sip of his water and was paralyzed. But she was sitting in his chair, such he wouldn't fall. There was no going back at that point, so I concocted this plan on the spur of the moment. A plan that to pin Dr. Wilson's murder on this innocent man. I happen to know that the professor always carried a gun. I decided to use that fact to my advantage. I had the bottle of Cuirae in my handbag. And my own pistol concealed under my skirt. As you have lied! As you say, there's no place you can hide a gun. Also, under your skirt? So I was right. There were two guns. Yes. And then I finished my coffee, got up to leave. That's when I noticed the professor's gun, which you had presumably placed on the floor. Place where you were sure I would notice it. And everything went according to plan. You noticed gun, as I intended. And then, just as you bent down to pick up, that's me. I blame the dog. That's when you shot the professor with your own gun. At that point, he was already dead. Naturally, the gun caused a commotion at which the point the waiter appeared. Obviously, I assumed Naruhodo-san was a culprit and apprehended him. I took him to the pantry, at George's expedition, and locked him inside. That's when I took the opportunity to turn the professor in his chair around. Because, of course, you to make it look like the defendant had shot Dr. Wilson for a gun. And you rotated the plate as well. So there you have it. That is the entirety of my misdemeanor. Yeah. Your Excellency. Yes? I wonder. Might I speak with you in private later? I shall call on you. Thank you. Good day then. everyone. I hope you can forgive me, Naruhodo-san. I don't... You know, speaking in private is never a good idea. Especially when you are the villain. It would seem this trial is very court. I presume the prosecution is in agreement. This can't be. Takechi Ajichi does not lose. Not like this rookie student. Now you see, you're gonna start getting used to tough opposition. Naruhodo. What? Yes? This insult to the Ajichi family will never be forgotten. You have become conceited with age, council, but the old have stand aside and make way for the new. But you see, Revali's Gale is now ready. It's the way of the world. May you never forget that. Revali's Gale is now ready. You're too slow. 1,000 million may pass, and still, Aji clan will never measure up to the Naruhodo clan. This trial in Supreme Court of Japan will, I believe, go down in history as the start of a new chapter in our country's judicial system. Despite being summed as the accused, you, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, presented an excellent case. I thank you, Your Excellency. The use of evidence and deduction to unravel the truth is a modern methodology. After all, there's only been a few short decades since our country opened its doors to the wider world. But the Western ideas of science are rapidly gaining acceptance here. I feel sure that science will bring new methods of investigation and new procedures of justice. And a new future of law awaits. But what it will look like, I cannot begin to imagine. That's for the young to pursue. Kazuma Asoki. Yes? After this trial, you are set to embark on a journey of discovery to the illustrious British Empire. Learn all you can. Absorb everything of the wider world that you are able to. And do not forget to fulfill the mission imposed upon you. I understand, Your Excellency. What was that about? Why do you look so grave all of a sudden? Never mind. As for you, Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Oh, yes? In you, I sense, how can I put it, unusual potential. I very much look forward to seeing how you carry that onwards. Thank you, Your Excellency. It is time to deliver the final verdict. I hereby define the defendant, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, not guilty. As you know, yes. The court is now adjourned. And now time for the conclusion. 22nd November, 2:46 p.m. Supreme Court of Judicature. Defendant's attendance chamber 5. I can't believe it. I can't believe what's happened. I made it. I defended myself and made it through that horrendous trial. Ryunosuke. Oh! You finally pulled it off. Congratulations. Well, I couldn't have done without you. Thank you, Kazuma. No. It was a pleasure to watch you at work. So, you can owe me an extra large sukiyaki from the place on Yuma University Street. Don't forget. Good afternoon. All your hard work has certainly paid off. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize it was Usato. Ah! Congratulations to both of you providing Naruhodo-san's innocence. Our trusty judicial assistant. You worked hard for that result, you know. Oh no, I didn't do anything. Thank you so much! If we had that research report of Miss Brett, I don't know what would have turned how things turned out. Your kind wish I really be for my father. I was simply doing as he asked. It was his idea for me to go to the university and investigate. Your father? Ah, yes, of course. Forgive me for intruding on court proceedings, Your Excellency. Susato Mikotoba, Judicial Assistant to the Defense. Ah, Susato gets better as the game goes on? Can't wait. Speaking of Mikotoba. Ah, there you are. I believe congratulations are in order. Naruhodo, you did an excellent job. Thanks, Professor. No, it was I who was thanking you. After all, your effort exposed the true criminal that took the life of my good friend. Good friend? Oh, yes, you mentioned that before. It was you who actually invited Dr. Wilson to Yume University, wasn't it? Yes, that is right. Professor Mikotoba studies overseas himself. He would have studied forensic medicine in Great Britain. Presumably, that's when you met Dr. Wilson? Exactly. In those days, we worked together in the same hospital. Oh, you worked together? I've never heard you mention that before. Well, it was a long time ago now. Besides, it's your turn, Asoki. Great Britain is a magnificent country. It leads the world. In science, medicine, engineering, culture, and of course, in law. Watch and learn, my boy. See what's happening in the world's largest melting pot. I will. I will learn all that I can. I swear that the spirit of the Asogi clan. You're not taking that sword over to Great Britain, are you? Of course I am. A Japanese man's katana is a sword. The blade shows me where I need to go. And cuts down anything that's in my way. Yes, I've just seen how sharp it is already with my own eyes. We're probably scale is not ready. Oh, thanks for that. That reminds me, what happened to the woman? To Giselle Britt. I mean, after all, she's guilty of murder. Ah, yes, her. I need to tell you this, but... What do you mean? Gonna face trial herself now. She's the true culprit after all. She will be leaving Japan in the very near future. For Shanghai. What? Shanghai? I knew this was gonna happen. Delbert will not appear in court again in this country. I'm certain of that. What? Why not? The matter of consular jurisdiction. Oh? Inspector Hosonaga! It was a hard-fought battle in the courtroom today. Very impressive to watch. I must congratulate, but results about consular jurisdiction. We cannot try this protected foreigner for crimes here in Japan. What? We can't try her? Then who? Who's gonna bring her to justice? A British consular court will hear her case. We're very far away, where our voices can't be heard. Why consular court? Oh, shady business is afoot. The game is afoot! Professor, I simply don't understand. I thought the consular court was a thing of the past now that we signed the friendship treaty. Yes, in normal sense, you're right. Then, so long as it's not a serious incident of a highly political... Just can't invoke a consular court just like that. Oh, can't they? Yes, she's a student, but it doesn't justify our government making a secret arrangement at her fate, does it? Something strange is going on. Miss Brett can't be held accountable for her actions here in Japan. Afraid that didn't with a young student. Today's trial was nothing more than a game all along. There was never any danger of compence for her. I don't believe it. The British government's Foreign Affairs Ministry has demanded that we hand over custody of her also taking this case of a foreign student committing murder very seriously. We're gonna make it change. This is a time of great turmoil, this new era held by the start of the 20th century. One day, I have no doubt, that woman will receive judgment she deserves. Yes, change is coming, and we're the ones driving it. Well, I think that's enough seriousness for now. This evening calls for a celebratory drink. But Professor... You're right, there's no time for gloomy faces. We should be celebrating Ryunosuke's not guilty verdict. Let's start by having some fun! And by counting all the sand in this desert, Omega! In that case, might I suggest La Carnival? As a head waiter, I should be delighted to provide you with ample food and drink. You're Detective Hosonaga-san, aren't you? Let's not worry about details for now. To La Carnival! Will you accompany us, Professor? Of course. La Carnival food is second to none. I shall go and attend to the paperwork for Nagusa-san's release. Oh, yes, thank you. So Giselle Brett will be tried here. I suppose that means I'll never know. I'll never find out why she killed Dr. Wilson. Kazuma? Yes, Ryunosuke. I just want to say thanks again, that's all. You really saved my skin today. I didn't do a thing. You're the lawyer in there, weren't you? That defense was all your own work. Your skills made a difference, though. One day, I bet you'd be the best lawyer in the world. Wait, I'm saying that in the wrong tone. I'm not so sure about that. Huh? Does that mean, To be honest, something kept occurring to me over and over again during that trial. I could not think that maybe you're the one destined to become a great lawyer. Not me. What? Come on, don't be serious. If I helped you today, it was only right at the very start of the trial. But you have a natural talent for it. For being a defense lawyer, I mean... Oh no, not me. All that tense verbal combat. I never want to go through that ever again. I just did what you told me to do, that's all. I knew I could trust you. That's the point. Sorry? What do you mean? That's the point. Listen, Ryunosuke. Do you know what the most crucial weapon is that any lawyer needs in order to win? Knowledge of the law? No. The ability to believe. For I believe that we can fly up in the sky. To believe? Believe what? That one day we may just be able to touch down on the star. A defense lawyer has to fight for his clients. He has to believe in them at all times. Like you believe in me when I didn't do it. I'm human, just like you. I don't have some superhero ability to know the truth. And I'm a dragon! But you have a choice to make, no matter what to believe in, and stick when you're defending someone. Sometimes in the courtroom, you can really be backed into a corner. But being able to remain faithful to what you choose, believe in then. Ugh. That's something that anyone can do. It takes a special kind of person. Believing in your clients. Just look at today's trial. I'm a student lawyer with precious little real experience. But you never got stopped believing in me. Well, I faced something hopeless situations time and time again. When you stopped looking for the truth. In the end, you found it. Through your own efforts, and because you never stopped believing in me. Thanks, Kazuma. This is something I want to ask you, actually. Ryunosuke. Well, it's a favor, really. Something very important to me. Now, I'm serious. What is... Ah! You're still here, are you? Oh, Inspector Hosonaga! I've arranged some rickshaws for us. Let's go. Thank you. We'll be right there. Let's pick up this conversation again later. You should be celebrating right now. Your first court victory. And your study tour to Great Britain, don't forget. Ah, yes, that too. So my very first trial came to an end. Kazuma. Professor Mikotoba. Dusato-san, who acts as my assistant. Inspector Hosonaga, who didn't really play much of a part. No, I'm shocked! It was because of the help and support of all these people that I managed to get through the trial. But more importantly, Kazuma hadn't, managed to ask his favor of me. Little did I realize, yes, Ace Attorney, Merkshire, just how much it would change my life. We are at the end of the first trial, and, possibly the end of today's stream. Ugh. Yes, I would like to save my current progress of... And, yeah, that was an odd glitch. I mean, we're gonna return to title screen for now. Ugh. Oh boy. Yikes. That was... quite... exhausting. Yeah. Thank you all. It was a pleasure. I'm not gonna continue on. I have a friend who's asking me to go and, play some GTA with him. Do I want to stream it? I don't know. I mean, maybe, maybe not, probably not. I want to try out the game on my new computer and such. If... Guess one. I have a friend who's asked me to play GTA with him. And it's like, it could be for stream content, but that's honestly all up to you guys. Do you guys want to be a part of that? And my chat. Where's my intermission scene? Yeah, we'll go to intermission for now. So, if you guys want to continue, I will be heading over to GTA and such. Oh, I also need to do a marker, like saying, oh yeah. And, video. There we go. Up to you, really? Yeah? I mean, true. It is up to me, but I'm also more curious about chat. Like, would chat stick around for that?